much weaker anti-inflammatory action in comparison to testosterone. So females have obviously much lower levels of testosterone than men. We've got more estrogen in circulation, so therefore we haven't got that anti-inflammatory action of testosterone. Estrogens can inhibit the Th1 pro-inflammatory cytokines whilst also stimulating the Th2 cytokines. So it's really affecting how the Th1 cells are working and what kind of cytokines they're producing in terms of the inflammatory actions there. And it does account for why there are variations with long-term chronic autoimmune conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis. Many women find that their symptoms may get better during pregnancy. The menopause can be a triggering point for some autoimmune conditions, because estrogen levels have really dropped very low. It's just something to be mindful of, that pregnancy, menopause can either be triggering points for autoimmune conditions, or symptoms may ease up at those points, depending on how, say for instance, if the menopause is managed with HRT, that's going to have a different influence and effect because of the synthetic estrogens being used at that point too. But this really does account for why there is a gender difference between men and women in terms of autoimmune conditions. So how can we go about supporting people with immune conditions? What are our natural, nutritional and naturopathic approaches to this? Well, first of all, we need to start at the root with gut health support, because as we mentioned, the gut is the foundation of health, and because it's got about 70 to 80% of our immune system, it makes sense to start there. We need lots of antioxidant nutrients to combat the increased amount of reactive oxygen species that are being produced. So there's the free radical damage. We need lots of antioxidants to quench those. We need nutrients that will influence cell signaling and inflammatory pathways. And lots of nourishing foods. So we need to remove things that may be stimulating or